Morning. Hello. Sorry to be so much later than usual today. I was doing a little bit of international money stuff for an upcoming trip, and it just took a longer than I thought. But here we are now. For those who can still join me, though I'm a little late. And we are working with Isis Aset. Nehes, 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 Nehes Emhotep, Nehes Neferu, Nebet Hotepet, Webenem Hotep, Webenem Neferu, Nutjert on Ankh, Nefer Pet, Pet Hotep, Tu Hotep, Nutjert Sat Nut Sat Get, Merit Osar, Nutjert Asha Renu, Anechbrak, Anechbrak, Tu Aatu, Tu Aatu, Nebet Aset. Awake, 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 awake in peace, Lady of peace, rise thou in peace, rise thou in beauty, Goddess of life, beautiful in heaven, heaven is in peace, earth is in peace. O Goddess, daughter of Nut, daughter of Geb, beloved of Osiris, mother of Horus, goddess rich in names, all praise to you, all praise to you. I adore you, Lady Isis. Yesterday was such an uplifting divination, Spirit of Isis, Triumph of the Goddess. Let's see what today brings in wisdom, inspiration, and meaning. Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. And it depicts Isis standing, she's holding her staff. Beside her walking, her wings are outstretched, and beside her walking is Horus, the raptor-headed deity. The Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight. These abilities are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. The Oracle of the Eye of Horus is a stamp of divine encouragement, approval, and protection. If you've been wondering about your divine path, about whether you have genuine gifts of healing and insight to share, about whether your inner perception is actually true, whether you will be protected spiritually in certain matters or situations, then this oracle is a confirmation for you. You also have the guidance here that your inner sight is expanding yet again, taking a turn on a higher twist of the spiral of perception. These are the gifts of higher clairvoyance, pure knowing, divination, and divine communion, and they all flow in truth from the fountain of the heart. You can expect your gifts to grow, and as a result, you will see with even more detachment, accuracy, and clear knowing. It is important that you trust your inner sight and come from your heart. This will ensure that your sight is accurate and helpful. Inner sight will never judge or harm another, but it will certainly help you discern the underlying truths of situations and relationships so that you can make wise decisions. This oracle is confirmation that you have spiritual gifts of healing and perception that can serve your own life path and those of others when you move from love. Trust that Horus will protect you as you move forward on your path, and that opportunities will come at the perfect time. The divine sun is shining on you, gifting you with your own time in the sun, so have faith. This oracle is confirmation that the divine is looking out for you and will guide and protect you through your intuition. Your inner voice will tell you everything you need to know in a timely manner. Finally, this oracle is also an indication of triumph over shadow energies and emotions. Whether you've been struggling with psychological shadow, unfulfilling habits, patterns of subversive or undermining behaviors, either from within yourself or from a toxic relationship with others, organizations, or groups in society, know that you will triumph and that the sun, the truth, and the light will prevail. Pray for protection, for clear insight, and trust your inner guidance. You will triumph in light over shadow. Your success and growth are assured. I remember what it felt like in my life to have a sort of beautiful naivete about people and circumstances and motivations and situations, and to feel like, oh, everybody really is just trying to do their best. But the reality is that that's not always the case. And sometimes people don't know how to do their best, or they are just not in alignment with what's best. Sometimes people are more committed to their ego than to transparency and truthfulness. Sometimes people are more committed to getting things their own way or getting something for themselves rather than being generous or honest in their transactions. Sometimes people just make mistakes. And even if their mistakes are nobly motivated, it can still land on you. And in these situations where you feel that you are subject to someone else's ethics or lack thereof, or someone else's perception or lack thereof, or someone else's opinion, or you're feeling like you yourself have been bound up in a situation that maybe is beyond your, scope of comfort, or maybe that you didn't cause, or maybe that you didn't want or seek out. Like sometimes drama will just come to your door, even if you're like, I was just over here minding my business, trying to do what I want to do. And when this happens, you have to trust that the divine hand is working even in this. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to trust this when it's like, wait a minute. I'm saying that the sky is blue and you're trying to tell me that the sky is green. Or wait a second, I'm doing my best and it may not be perfect, but it's not horrible. Why am I being treated this way? Sometimes you might feel like, well, I've been kind to you. I've been there for you. Why are you just like cutting me off or shunning me or treating me badly or blaming me for your problems? Any of that is possible in this world. And it isn't always easy to work through it. It can be really painful and really difficult to work through it. Because, we want to think the best. And it is the heart that always thinks the best of others. The heart says, I just want to love. I just want to love. I just want to meet people where they are. You're having a hard time? I've got you. You're, struggling with some difficult emotions? Don't worry, I'm here. But sometimes someone else's wounding will make it impossible for them to accept your love. It will make it impossible for them to face the truth of what they themselves have caused or created in their own lives. And sometimes we have a hard time facing what we've caused and created in our own lives through misplaced trust or through doing our best and it's still not working out. When we come to points like that, let's not forget that the sun in the sky is the eye of Horus, and it will shine down. It will illuminate truth. It will, for lack of a better metaphor, it will bleach the mold out of your life. If your life has mold in it, something that's creeping or clinging or covering you, the sun can take care of that. That mold only grows in shadowed places. So if you've been finding like you're moving through something that feels murky, awful, Maya says lots of mold here in Hawaii. Yeah, exactly. I mean, mold is right. It's dark and damp. There's darkness and dampness. Anything that's like thick or murky or cloying or clingy or creeping or it feels dirty. Maybe you've been moving through something like this. I'll tell you, this dark moon period has been a very, very revealing time. And in a lot of different ways, we saw Andrew Cuomo, and there he is. I saw a great meme saying, like, only a predator would use pictures of himself touching women to prove that he didn't touch women. Like, Jessai says, I really appreciate hearing your thoughts on this. You hit exactly on the head for me today. Mold doesn't appreciate the sun on it. Right. And so when you've been feeling like, it's something feels damp and cloying and clingy and awful and this murky, you go stand in the sun. You go put yourself under the eye of Horus and say, bleach me. If you've been feeling emotions arising from within that are that same clingy, cloying, damp, shadowed, bring the inner sun to bear. Rise the sun from within your solar plexus chakra. Rise the solar light from within and shine out. Don't let yourself get trapped in the myth that the lunar is female and the solar is male. We're all of it. You contain an entire cosmos. If you're a woman, be the sun. It's not just the moon that's your friend. It's also the sun. And if you want to be a star, you be that. Whatever it is, shine the direct light of your bold, loving, and uncompromising truth on shadowy or murky situations. And know that what will happen is that anything that can't bear the light of the sun will go scuttling away to find a new shadow. It's better for you to radiate light like a sun objectively and for all than it is for you to feel like you have to dim your light just because you're in murky circumstances. You don't. You're allowed to shine. You're allowed to be in your radiance. You're allowed to clean up the mold and to stop letting things, emotions, situations, habits, or patterns to cling to you when in fact you've already moved light years beyond it. That's our short bit for today, if that's what you were here for. Call upon Horus, call upon the eye of Horus, call upon the solar strength that is available to you today and every day to clear out unwanted, dive into our practice with 3 prostrations before the Shrine of Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And today I'm holding T and C. I'm holding the individuals who are struggling and suffering as a result of the fire that wiped out an area south of me yesterday. For all of my beloveds and friends in Grass Valley, in Nevada City, in that whole area of California that's being impacted by a large and terrorizing wildfire. And for anybody else who's having a hard day today. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. O Mahung. 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 Om Ahum. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. I recently did a reading for a woman who has a teenage daughter, and her daughter said, "Oh, we'll send prayers to Hope. Thank you for letting me know, Lisa, so that your friend Hope can walk again." We'll send this chant up for her today. I had a reading with a woman who has a teenage daughter, and the daughter came to her mom and said how she felt like she was surrounded by frenemies, people who pretended to be friends but weren't actually friends, and that she didn't trust the women the young women that she was spending time with. And the mom was trying to give her a little pep talk and was like, just, be strong, you'll be okay, and I care about you, and you're going to get through this and everything. And then all of a sudden the daughter said to the mom, "No, like, you don't understand. This is really hard." And I was looking at the cards, and I said to the mom, "You know what? Your daughter's right. You grew up maybe with people around you who you could trust, and you felt safe with your friends. You didn't grow up in your teenage years. Think about how cruel teenagers can sometimes be. And, think about if you didn't even have the internet growing up, you still experienced sometimes bullying or cruelty or meanness from others." And I said, then think about the internet and how it is, and how like gleeful people will be to tear someone down, or how they'll use the internet or WhatsApp or Snapchat or any of these other things as a way to bully somebody. And we didn't even have to contend with that. And the mom stopped and she was like, "You're right." And I said, nowadays, kids are under so much more social pressure than we ever were growing up. And then I think about it. And for a lot of us, whatever our age, probably most of the people who chant with me are not necessarily digital natives. We didn't necessarily grow up where the internet was there from when we were born. Maybe some of you, but the majority of people that are in my circle are kind of around my same age, like give or take 10 years in any direction. And we didn't grow up with that. And we don't really have the skills to deal with it. We don't have the skills exactly to deal with what we're being expected to balance in terms of how we present ourselves online, what other people think of that, the ways in which the online space is used to cause pain and harm to people in ways of either outright bullying or down to just passive aggressive excluding them. And not everybody sees everything that's online. And so that can also cause problems. If you're like a very online person and then you've got a friend who's not, you sometimes might feel like, well, where's my friend? Or you might think that you have friends online, but then they're not actually friends. All of us, is not just teenagers, we're all of us dealing with this situation where our own discernment of who our friends really are is coming under, and who we can really trust is coming under has to come under close inspection. So let's chant Namo Guanxin Pusa today to bring Guanyin into any space where pain and damage and harm are caused by a lack of knowing who we can trust, for all of us, for everybody. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 Namo Guanxi 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 Yin Pusa. Sorry, I had a little dry spot for a second there. And let's do the brief wind horse practice of Tara by Patrul Rinpoche. Lume chuksum shidang jatsunma galyum pakma drome jintuyi daki tseso pajor nyandraknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kaje wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshing chatu gawa long chije lekpe lam du drawa dong setting nime dedang denjur shi. Through the blessing and power of the unfailing Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and of Jetsunma, mother of the Buddha's noble Tara, may our lifespan, merit, prosperity, and renown increase like a waxing moon, like a rising summer lake. Especially may our good fortune, Wangtang and Windhorse, be healed when they weaken, rejoined when interrupted, raised up when sinking down. May whatever we do turn out well, and may good health, long life, peace, and happiness be ours. Lume choksum chidang jetsun ma galyum pakma drome jintuyi daki sisu pajor nyandraknam yarnu dadang yarji soshindu kepar kache wangtang lungta nam nyampa soshing chatu gawa long chije lekpe lamdu drowa dang setting nime dedang denjur shi. I actually have a new prayer that we're going to start maybe after the end of after we're going to do this after the fall equinox, and it's a brief prayer for summoning prosperity by Jamgun Mipam Rinpoche. And so I'm excited about that. Mipam Rinpoche's work is incredible, vivid, lush, beautiful. Okay, so now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, calling out to Guanyin to be there for all of those, to be there for all of those who struggle or suffer with some obscuration of some sort, whatever it is, inner or outer. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. So we're going to get out there and we're going to shine the sunlight of truth into the world. We're going to clear out murkiness. We are looking forward to our new interstitial prayer to come, which, yes, Lisa, in September, I'll be posting that prayer in the app, and we're going to have a good day. We're going to make it a good day. Be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody.